We are live. My name is Paul Roberts, and I am Monkey King. Yes, indeed, I'm Monkey King. I'm also an author of a book, I Can't Quit. So Monkey King wrote a book, I Can't Quit. But my name is Paul Roberts. I'm the CSO of We Partners. I got the CRO, Daniel Ng, with us today, and I'm going to ask him a few questions about pretty scary topic for brokers. But before I do that, like I do every single call that we start off, I want to add value to your life, just in case you say, you know what, I wish I wouldn't have wasted, 10 minutes talking to you guys. Well, here's some value that you can take to the bank by the man, John Maxwell. John Maxwell says you should start every week by asking yourself these three questions. It's powerful, man. Write this stuff down. This is huge. Number one, what is required of me? Write that question down before you begin every week. What is required of me? It gets your brain thinking. It gets it active. It gets it alive. Number two, what gives me the greatest return? And then answer that question. Write it down. And John Maxwell is brilliant. I've been following him for 20 years. He's changed my life radically. I actually got to play golf with John Maxwell. No kidding. I wore neon yellow socks. I had a man bun. Yes, a man bun. Please don't hang up. I mean, I was a jacked up mess on the golf course, but someone said, why are you dressed so crazy to meet John Maxwell? I said, I don't want him to forget me. Now, he probably did, but he might not if he sees that picture. And then number three, what gives me the greatest reward? So what gives me the greatest return? And number three, what gives me the greatest reward? If you can legit ask yourself that question to begin every week, your life will radically, radically change. So there's your value. It's helped me massively. I know when I don't do it, I'm a little lost, but I love doing that. So there you go. Let's jump into our topic today, because I interview a lot of brokers, and I feel for them. I get it. Like they built this brand, they built this deal. They went out and worked really hard to get their broker license. They passed the test. They're proud of it, and they should be proud of it. No kidding. However, there might be something better for them, and I get that they're scared. So why should I talk about it? I need to interview someone that's actually been through that scary part of owning his own franchise, being the man, being in charge of everything, taking all the profits at the end of the month. I said, let's interview him, because he is a broker that left that, and I know it was scary, to become part of the eXp platform. And it's not that it's scary, but there's, let's be real, there's a part of your ego you're going to have to put to the side, because you built something, and now you're like, whoa, the way everything is going, it's changing on me massively. I need to make a change, or I'm going to get left behind. But I would probably be one of those. I'd probably be the last one to sell Blockbuster. I'd be like, man, I'm holding on to the end. This is going to come through. This is going to come back. I know it is, because I'm committed, sometimes to a fault. And I understand that fear. I sold my company. Scary, scary, scary stuff, man. And everyone's like, well, we don't feel sorry for you because you made a lot of money. And I understand that. However, very scary. And so let's ask Daniel Ng, who has had a couple of franchises, who was very successful before eXp. Daniel, you sold, like I said, 2 franchises. What was that? It's kind of like walking into the unknown. You're giving up your identity, your brand, what was that like for you?
Well, I think to make it clear, but when I bought a franchise, I was actually not branding my own identity. I purchased something to brand someone else's identity. And really, from a broker standpoint, what was the major headaches of a broker? Because we go broke, right? Yeah. We're building our team, offices. The goal is to expand more, add more staff members, managers, admins, accounting, and all this. And then at the same time, is we have to also look at what else is out there. It's not like the new shiny object, but actually, are there solutions out there? Are there something that's going to be like a Blockbuster and Netflix movement? Is there going to be something from the Amazon, Airbnb, things like that? And we have to start thinking, as an owner, we start to think about, like, what else is there so I can support, right? Because, we became a broker for a reason, because we cared about the agents. We wanted to create, we started as a team, right? And at the same time is, the goal for a broker is not to do the transactions, is actually create a platform so agents train them up so they do the deals, and then we get a commission split out of that. But still, you're still running a business as a brokerage, right? As a broker. And I think the aha moment when I realized that, one, I was running 2 companies at the same time, commercial and residential. And if I was able to combine this together somehow, how would that look like? But keep its autonomy. So I still have my commercial division. I still have my residential division in my organization. And at the same time, as agents finally get to own part of this. Because what happened as a broker, I would train my agents. They become a top producer, and some of them want to be partners. They want to have ownership. They're not going to pay for it, right? They're going to either want a better split. And what happens when they don't get what they want? They become your competition. So I've trained a lot of brokers that started their own companies, and I'm grateful for the connection, and I'm glad that they've been able to run a business. But at the same time, is they're going to go through the same thing because I've been seeing it. It's going to happen. It is happening. I saw another top producer at another brokerage firm that I helped this agent become a broker, and I just saw one of our top producers go to eXp.
Yeah.
Not in our organization, but somewhere else. Because people are always looking for, one is, what can they support their family with? Second is, economy of scale, right? More open houses. When you have a company that has more people, and we're not a franchise, that's another thing I hear all the time from broker owners, like, well, I don't want to be a Remax or a Coldwell Bank, or we're not. I mean, if you're a residential agent, you're a realtor member, you're part of NAR, you're joining a platform. And that's how I look at eXp. It's just another platform, but to do more to scale.
Yeah.
They handle the back end. As a broker owner, handling the accounting, doing all the things, reviewing contracts. I no longer need to review contracts. I don't mind looking at it if a team member is like, hey, can you just check it out? Sure. But that's not my role anymore. My role is to support really on explaining the model, something that's better, and then ownership, having equity in a company. And that's for the past 2 years, that's what I've been doing. And that freed me up. So I guess in a sense is when I joined this platform, it frees me up to do what I do best, is, pour into more people, and I can scale. I'm only licensed in Texas, but now I'm in Florida, Ohio, New Jersey, New York, Chicago, Seattle, in Canada, in Mexico, in Japan, Hawaii, all these other markets in Europe
Peru.
as well.
Don't forget about Peru.
So Peru, don't forget about Peru. And I heard someone said Colombia is coming on soon. So it's just an amazing thing where you leverage technology, right? We are a real estate tech company that created a platform that supports brokers and entrepreneurs, real estate entrepreneurs.
Okay.
As a regular new agent, you have a great platform because you have a lot of brokers in here. So I'm not the broker of record, but I know in Texas we have like 15 managing brokers supporting, and those brokers have colleagues to support each other. That is the thing. When I was an independent, I relied on my 2 partners. But what happens when my partner is out of town or the other partner is out of town? Then it's all on me.
Yeah.
Right. But when you have the support staff supporting you, it's a different thing. I think for broker owners, they need to realize what a platform does for their business. How can they scale? And at the same time is with new technology, like we just added Canva Pro last year. So everyone in the company has Canva. There's like 90,000 subscriptions of Canva Pro. I mean, just think about that. Another thing is we're the first corporate company to offer 3 CRM choices, CRM of choice, right? Typically when I have my franchise, you're stuck with that, what technology they had, because that's what the franchise fee was for.
Yeah.
Again, we're not a franchise, no franchise fee.
Let me ask you a question. So I'm a broker, let's say, okay, and you're talking to me about I'm scared, but I'm not going to tell you I'm scared. I'm going to be a little mean because I'm scared.
Yep.
Well, Daniel, I receive all the profits. I'm the man. They're not going to say that, but that's what they're saying. And this is my team. They're holding. They got their arms around. I'm going to lose them because everyone else is going to be helping them. How do you talk to someone like that? What do you say to them?
Well, I think you have to figure out what your exit strategy is. A lot of brokers, when we first start, even myself, like, okay, great, let's start this company, let's grow, let's get to 100 agents, let's get to 1,000 agents. But then it's like, what's next? There's no exit strategy. If my kids don't take over my brokerage business, and they don't want to manage people that way, then what do I do with this brokerage? Either I sell it, and the thing is, with other platforms out there, is it really sellable?
Right.
And if you're stuck with a franchise, you're stuck in a territory. What happens with a brokerage is you're in a box. And what eXp allowed us to do is get out of the box. The franchise actually confines you even stricter. You think the box is bigger, but it's actually smaller because they give you more restraints.
Yeah.
Right. But as an independent, yes, you're independent. You can do what you want to do. If you don't want to grow, it's your choice. That's the freedom you have. But the thing is, as an independent, I talked to an independent broker the other day when I was in Boston, and he didn't like the idea. Like I told him that because he was talking about the freedom, and I said, no, you're putting yourself in a box. He didn't like that. And the reason why I shared, and I apologize, like, hey, I wasn't trying to be rude and make you feel tiny, but I'm speaking the truth. I'm in different markets, and he goes, well, I can just refer the deal out. Like, yeah, you could refer business out to California, 25%, maybe 30%. But imagine you had your team member that you're coaching, and you say, hey, this is my client. I want a 50%. I want even more because I'm flying there. Because if the state allows you to fly there to work with your team member to run a deal through, guess what? That's more than just a referral. So that it opens up your mind. So for brokers out there, really think about like, hey, is this a platform? If it exists, what could I do with it? And eXp has been around since 2009. A lot of brokers thought they understand it. But the thing is, everyone that's been approaching you have been brand new agents. They're excited. They want to grow. But broker to broker, like right here, I'm talking to you guys. Broker to broker, this is a platform to elevate your business to do more, but to do less. To do more, but do less. Because I don't have to do the accounting. I'm no longer liable as the broker owner, right? That's a big thing. Especially if you're scaling. If you're going to 1,000 agents, you're bound to get in a lawsuit from one of your agents eventually.
Yeah.
It's just a numbers game, right? Eventually someone's going to mess up, and you got to deal with that. But I shipped that risk to corporate. All the new tech stuff, all the new trainings, and all the stuff that's been coming out with NAR, we have the whole team doing it. I don't have to mess with that anymore. And I get to do what I love, which is connect with more people, helping agents grow their business, helping them learn about commercial. If they want to do commercial, we're working on like an investment club. I mean, that's what I'm building. I feel like I'm building an investment club of entrepreneurs coming together versus a brokerage team.
Yeah.
So very different mindset.
Yeah. And so let's talk about the small boutique broker. He or she's got, 10, 15 people. You and I both know they can't grow beyond that. That's about it. But they're still scared because like, these are my people. This is my team. What am I going to lose when I come over? And, I kind of think of Teresa and Shelly, everything they've gained. I see everything they've gained, right? Because I'm on this side of it. So what would you tell a small boutique broker that they're not going to get bigger than 15? They're always going to have to do transactions to pay the bills. What would you tell someone like that?
Yeah, I mean, at 15 agents, the same thing. I mean, who are your top producers? If it's one or two top producers there that's really running the show, and by that time you probably have to give them a good split, right? If they're your top producers, you got to give them a better split. So you're making not much, and it's very. The brokerage models. I mean, the community is very competitive. There's flat fees, there's hybrid monitors, there's all these people are very creative in terms of doing their splits and all that. I think the main thing is you as a broker owner have to make a business decision. You got to think about your exit strategy, right? What I'm building here is willable to my children. My position is willable to my children.
Yeah.
But going back to what you lose, if agents are truly loyal to you because of your leadership, it's not about the money. They shouldn't be looking at splits or $85 fees and things like that. They should be looking at like, hey, I trust you as a leader. Because people follow people. If they truly respect you as a leader, they know that whatever your decision that you make is a decision not for yourself, but for the team, for the organization.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I hear brokers always like, well, I might lose half of my team. I'm like, well, if half of your team isn't producing, you're not losing that much, right? Yes, you might lose headcount, but imagine 10xing that headcount. That is the opportunity here in this platform. You can 10x what you have.
Yeah.
I started back with 3 people when I got into this platform, and now I'm close at this time almost 300.
Yeah. And I'll say this. Wait, you started with how many?
I started with 3 people.
And now you got 300. Okay, so that's one of my questions is how much have you exploded 3 to 300? So I don't know. That's not 10x. That's like 1,000x or whatever. 100x. But anyhow, and one thing I've noticed, and I'm just going to speak from the inside, is I've noticed you bring brokers over. And what's cool about the network that you have built is Daniel still respects you as the broker, if you will. Like if you bring in 15, 20 people, Daniel still pays that respect to you. He doesn't walk on your feet and act like he's the boss. You're the boss. You're bringing over your platform. You're still in control of everything, but you're going to learn the moment you let go of the control, you have 90,000 people to teach your team of 15 people. And when they teach your team of 15 people, here's what's going to happen. They're going to help your team of 15 grow. Your team of 15 will start building their own vision, and now they don't have to leave you, like Daniel said in the beginning. Because you're trying, if you're in a traditional market, I'm telling you right now, when 4 years hits, they're gone if they're good. If they're gone, and now you've lost them. Over here, you don't got to lose them. But again, I want to go back to this. Daniel has much respect for when people bring over, and it's not just Daniel. I've noticed other hierarchies, other organizations, I should say, I do the exact same thing. There's a lot of respect. We've brought big groups over, and you're in charge.
Yeah, I mean, the big groups, the small groups, the main thing is they keep their identity, but at the same time, they free up their agents to become business partners. And when those agents want to grow, they have opportunity. We're on the same playing field now. Right. Yeah. There's no I just saw another franchise have a broker owner conference. So it's only the broker owners. The agents are not in this conference. We're all here together. There's no higher up. The brokers work for us. eXp brokers, they're W-2 employees. They work to serve us. Yeah. That is their role. That's why they got hired, to serve our team. Right.
Yeah. There's so much more to talk about with that right there. But I want to say this real quickly, because people got on it. I've been building teams for 20 years. Here's what I can tell you. The majority of the people on your team are not in love with you like you think they are. And what this allows you to do when you bring them over here is they get a choice of a lot of people to work with, and you don't ever lose them. Because they come in, they find the system. Like I've already hired people. I've only been here about a year and a half, but I've already brought in people, and they gravitated towards other people. And those other people are keeping them here. That's great. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. I don't have to be, well, I can't believe they're not coming to me. I don't care. They have found someone they can run with. They're fired up about, and they're productive. So I just know in basic psychology, you don't want to be seen as the boss, because when you're seen as the boss, they're going to go to other people. It's just like your parents. You're going to go to other people. And another thing, I love this. So real quick, because you got a birthday to go to, because your beautiful wife is her birthday today. I got one last question. Let me see which one I want to ask. You've kind of already answered it. But in terms of burnout and all of that stuff, how do you feel you've increased your longevity in this business, given the fact you've given up some control to be in more control, really, of your financial future?
I agree. I mean, with brokers get burnt out. I see it all the time. Top producers get burnt out, right? If a top producer does not start hiring and understanding their time value of money, meaning their time that it takes to hire, they need to hire a VA. They need to hire assistants. They need to hire a transaction coordinator. Yes, this costs money, but you have to understand what you're allocating that time to do productive stuff. Similar to my business, I have 2 VAs right now. Do I need to hire? I'm looking for a manager to continue to grow, because you have to do that in order to scale. But you can do it efficiently as well. Going back to the question of being burnt out, I'm no longer burnt out because I have everyone, like my partners, to support us, right? When the brokers come in, they have their own trainings, they start doing their things, and everyone can get plugged into this community. I guess what have we created in We Partners Network? We've created a community of leaders that are coming together, leaders that are creating different support groups, leaders that are spiritually supportive, mentally supportive, and then also physically, because we have to have health is wealth, right? We can have all the money in the world, same thing. If we don't have health, doesn't matter. Yep. So all these have to balance in this community. If we want to do investments, we have an investment club, right? We're doing a crowdfunding thing now. There's a lot of things that you can do when you have more time, right? But if you're in the business and working the business, you're stuck in the business. This platform got me unstuck. And I don't know how to explain that. I would love to meet with you guys to share that, because I want to find solutions for brokers. I mean, that's truly what it is. If I can help you, my mission is done, because my mission is to help find solutions for brokers, solutions for top producers. so they can leverage the AI. I mean, imagine you have 10 top producers gathering together. They're sharing marketing resources. They're sharing VA resources. It's just 10. That helps 10 people right there and sharing, cutting costs versus everyone getting the same people. If you go into the eXp world, same thing. We only have one receptionist for the whole entire Texas. And I always share the same scenario. Imagine there's 1,000 real estate offices. You have to hire 1,000 people. We just cut it down to one. Efficiency. So, but yes, I would love to connect with you as the broker owner or team leader, or whoever that wants to even open a brokerage. I've saved people from buying a franchise. I saved you, Paul, from buying a franchise and hiring a broker because you weren't a broker yet. But you're an entrepreneur. You're going to buy a franchise and then hire out a broker, and then you would have to hire a manager and then do all the accounting year end. Oh, right there is cost savings. Oh,
definitely. Well, thank you so much. And for everybody that's listening or listening to this in the future, please reach out to this. I'll tell you this, Daniel Ening is the most giving man I've ever met. He serves everybody. A lot of people say they want to help people and serve people. Daniel does it with action, not words. I've watched him do it. He does it insanely ridiculous, crazy the way he is with serving people. I'm going to give you an example. We're going to end here. This last weekend, him and I were in Boston. He takes me down to Boston, me and my wife, drives us around. He knew I used to live there, so he took me by the house I used to live at. We took pictures of it, and you can't park in Boston, by the way, so he lets us jump out of the car. He drives around in circles trying to find us again. He finds us. Then we go to the Boston Tea Party. We take pictures there. We jump out. We do all that. And he takes us back, which was about a 30-minute drive, and picks up another crew and takes them back to Boston. And by the way, we had to leave at 3 a.m. That's just one simple thing he does. But I say all that because I want the opportunity to introduce you to him, because he comes from he understands as a broker what it feels like to have to detach from that. I understand from the point of it's hard. I get it. I sold a business. I understand it. And the cool thing, the way Daniel and the whole eXp team handles this, is it's a process. It's not like, hey, jump ship, come over here tomorrow. They have a proven system, proven financial system to get you to move over here and to bring your whole team. And if not, I'm not being mean, but your team's one by one is going to come over here. That's just what's going to happen.
And eXp has different incentives. They have different things, programs called Boost and Thrive, that we can talk to the growth team. If that's something like, hey, I want to understand. So for me, do your due diligence, understand everything, and then start asking, like, if this happened, what would it look like? I mean, we're in business. We need to do our due diligence. We can't just like move and have time. It takes time. I totally understand. It took me 6 months. So just understand, it takes time to do things and make that decision. But once you make that decision, then you set up your plan. The plan for me, why it took me 6 months, because I was trying to figure out a plan. But if you want to sit down, understand it from a broker standpoint, and speak to our growth leaders, I want you to do that. Yeah. Just understand it. I hope that this helps everyone out to understand a little bit more, to set up a meeting and just kind of connect, and then dive deeper into a platform that could change your life.
Absolutely. Well, you go enjoy your birthday with your beautiful wife, and thank you for your time tonight, serving the team. Again, you shouldn't be on this call right now. You should be with your wife right now. So we greatly appreciate you, and go get yours. We're definitely getting ours. Adios.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye, everyone.